Tell me about MetaReserve. What's it about? What's the big broad strokes of this?
Okay, well, we're a DAO. We're a decentralized autonomous organization. We're a reserve currency protocol. We're a little bit different from other reserve currency protocols because we're more than just your staking and your bonding to earn high APYs. We have much more of a long-term strategy, and we're much more technology focused. So we're basically building out utilities to go hand in hand with our token and with the staking and the bonding that we offer to our users.
What's going on, cowboy? In this video, we've got a new crypto project called MetaReserve, and we have the CEO, the mind behind it all, who's driving this force. His name is Oliver, and he's going to be in the hot seat today, and we're going to be grilling him up for some questions. I've got some of the most hard-hitting questions for this project, and I need to know, hey, can they sustain? Is this a good project? Is this worth my time and money investing? And whether or not you and I should be investing in this project. If you're new to this channel, my name is Aaron. I'm on a journey to my next Bitcoin while helping you to your next Bitcoin. We're always going through the next latest and greatest projects, and I feel like AMAs are the best source of information for any particular project. I feel like it's better than websites because sometimes they, the feel or the team can be, extracted from the website. I think it's way better than YouTubers. You can't trust YouTubers, okay? Because these guys always get paid to shill, and they always give some kind of biased opinion because they're getting paid. So what happens is in an AMA, it's a win-win-win situation. One, the CEO gets to talk about their project with fire and intensity and wisdom and like application. Two, I get compensated and I get to ask the best questions that I could come up with. And three, you and I get the best source of information to make our decision on whether or not we should particularly invest in any given project. Now, in this video today, we have MetaReserve, and the CEO is in the hot seat. His name is Oliver. Oliver, welcome to the hot seat.
Thank you, and thank you very much for having me on. I'm very excited about this too.
Awesome. Oliver, before we get to MetaReserve, I want to know a little bit about you. What's your background coming into crypto, and a little bit, just a little snapshot of your origin story?
Yeah, well, actually, I was in blockchain a long time ago before anyone had even ever heard about it. I had a blockchain development company back in 2015. We were
Wow.
digitizing gold on the Bitcoin blockchain, and it was a much different landscape back then. Nobody knew anything about it. It was a lot more difficult to get traction, a lot more difficult than it is now. And yeah, since then I've been in quite a few different companies. I've been in physical gold and gold mining out in Indonesia, and I'm also in the retail space, in the retail sector, the sports sector. But I've been very keen and very actively involved with blockchain startups and cryptocurrencies. And now more so in the DeFi space. That's what's really captured my attention and my interest, because I think that DeFi now is the technology that I needed to succeed back in 2015 when the technology didn't exist. And I look at DeFi now, and especially what MetaReserve is doing, and I just wish I had this 7 years ago. Now it's here. I'm really set on using it to its full potential.
Awesome. So, Oliver, from what I gather, you are a serial entrepreneur in a lot of different spaces, but in blockchain particularly since 2015. And now you wish you had something like what you have now in DeFi, and that's your specific focus now. So, taking all of that into a project, tell me about MetaReserve. What's it about? What's the big broad strokes of this?
Okay, well, we're a DAO. We're a decentralized autonomous organization. We're a reserve currency protocol. We're a little bit different from other reserve currency protocols because we're more than just your staking and your bonding to earn high APYs. We have much more of a long-term strategy, and we're much more technology focused. So we're basically building out utilities to go hand in hand with our token and with the staking and the bonding that we offer to our users. So we're actually, our main project is our own metaverse. So we're building a digital business center. It's called Metro Power, and we've already started the design. There's already teasers available. We also have just launched our own meta market, our own NFT marketplace, where we focus more on, again, utilities and real world value. And we partner with different corporations and different celebrities in order to create and design and launch their NFT series, whilst also providing some real world perks, rewards, and value to the NFT owners and to our community. The big thing about MetaReserve, I'd say, is it's about empowering people and empowering startups. So part of our strategy is our treasury, and we use our treasury to incubate and support and launch other projects. So that really is the basis of our business, which is a launch pad and an incubator for other projects to start their journey on.
Awesome. So I think I have it broken down into three major things with a main goal here. The first branch is a metaverse. You described it as a digital business center. The
Yes.
second is a marketplace, an NFT marketplace focused on utilities and partnering with celebrities. And the
Yep.
third is a treasury used as a launch pad and an incubator for startup projects on blockchain. Is that about correct?
Correct. Yes.
All
That's
of
the
this
gist
to
of it.
empower people, all this to empower people and empower startups. So in these three different ways. So let me just start at the top here at the metaverse digital business center. I've never heard it described in that way particularly. Could you elaborate more on the digital business center as a metaverse? I saw some of the pictures on your website. If you guys want to check out any of their stuff, check out the links down below. But I saw pictures of your website. It looks like a digital business center, right? Like, what are we talking about here? Are people going in there and buying lots of land and then building buildings and then shopping there, or is it like a mall? Help me describe what I'm looking at.
Well, if you look at it in this sense, if you look at Meta, for example, Facebook, they're building their metaverse, and that obviously will be the biggest and the most well funded metaverse, and that's more of a social metaverse, just like in keeping with Facebook. Then if you look at plenty of other metaverses which are always gaming, it's always a game world, a digital reality. Well, ours is slightly different. Like I said, it's a digital business center. So it's somewhere, yes, where companies, banks, other projects can have their own building. They can have their own plot of land and their own building, and there they can showcase all of their products and all of their offerings to the general public. People can use our business center for all of these things. So that there are gaming elements, there are social elements. People can use their own avatar and wander around our metaverse just like they can with Facebook's metaverse. But more than that, our focus really is on showcasing businesses and having a business center, so to speak. So, we imagine people that fly all over the world going to different crypto events and functions throughout the world. Well, now you can do it all everywhere in one place without having to travel anywhere. You can have a whole crypto exhibition in the metaverse, so it alleviates the need for traveling. You can also, like I said, there's a social element to it, so there's meeting and greeting different people and getting to know people. So there is a whole social aspect to that. And then more on a business level, it's also somewhere where you can conduct all of your due diligence in one place. So everything about a company, a startup, a bank, whatever it might be in the car showroom, all of the information on that company and all of its personnel is all there in the metaverse, in their building, and it's all there showcased. So it's somewhere where the due diligence process can happen, in effect, face to face, in a virtual sense. So basically, yeah, everything to do with business all in one place. You can go in there, you can enter all the different parts of our business. So you can enter Meta Markets and see all the NFTs. You can enter Meta Laboratories and see all of the different projects and companies, and read up on all of their plans and see their plans in action and where they're up to, and meet all their staff and personnel. It's all kind of business and all aspects of business, all in one place. But also it has those elements of social media, and gaming as well, because a lot of the companies that we're working with, a lot of the NFT partners and so forth, we're also building play to earn games. So it's somewhere where you can go and try a little bit of everything, but with the overall theme being business minded.
Gotcha. So yeah, I kind of see this as like a Facebook is kind of like a social Web 2.0 type of deal, and like you
Yep.
go to games, but LinkedIn is like about business, but there's also social aspects of it. So I see like a correlation between a LinkedIn social platform and a metaverse that is focused on business and business transactions. I have three particular questions, and then I'd like to move on to the NFT marketplace for the metaverse. The first thing is, do you have businesses already interested in partnering with the metaverse or your digital business center?
Yes, we do. We're in discussions with quite a few businesses. We've signed contracts. We've got contracts on the table waiting to be signed with a few. One of them in particular is very, very exciting because it is with a bank, and it will allow us to offer digital accounts to all of our customers and our users. That's just in the final stages now. But then also, particularly with our NFT partners, which we'll talk about shortly. I know one of them, for example, is BYD, an electric car company, and they will have their own showroom in our metaverse. So that's just one example.
Awesome. So how many do you have? How many contracts do you have out?
Well, with the NFTs, we have 3 signed, sealed, launched. We're in discussion now with another 3 or 4. On the banking side, we have one which is penned on the table now, contracts drawn, just waiting to be countersigned.
Who's that?
Um,
Who's that?
I don't want to mention that just yet. I've made the mistake in the past. I've made the mistake in the past of mentioning things when things looked like they were done, and I've learned lessons the hard way, not to jump the gun and
Understood.
announce things. But this is one that people will be hearing about shortly, because we will be offering the bank's products to our customers. So it is
I had
something
to ask.
that
I
will
had
be
to
coming.
ask. I had to
Yeah.
ask. Okay. Two. The metaverse, to me, you need people there. You need commerce there. What
Yep.
is going to be the most attractive thing about it to attract people to it? What's going to be the number one thing to attract people to the metaverse?
I think it's the opportunity, really, because our token, Power Token, will be the native currency of the metaverse, as well as the native currency of all the play to earn games that we're building out for a lot of our ambassadors and partners. So I think more than anything, it's the opportunities that are coming out of the metaverse. So the metaverse will be showcasing all of the projects that we as a community will be voting on to incubate and support. So the metaverse will be the place where all of the information on all of these projects is housed, and people are always looking for new projects. Everybody wants to get in early on the next big thing. And this is the place where you're going to find those projects. This is the place where you're going to get in at the earliest possible level. So I think that really is the biggest driving force for people to come into our metaverse and explore our metaverse and use our power token, and have a voice in the community in order to vote for which projects and companies that they've seen in our metaverse and gotten to know and feel like we should support. If they want a voice in that decision, then Power Token and our governance token Honor is the way to do that. And I think that will be the real driving force to get people into the metaverse and using it.
Awesome. So a lot of opportunity, a lot of ways in, especially very early into a project.
Yeah.
Last question on the metaverse timeline. When do we see this thing up and running in beta that I could go in and log in and walk around?
Well, we're well ahead of our scheduled plans, because we didn't initially If you look at our roadmap, we weren't planning on even starting the metaverse until the end of this year. Now, we brought this back. We started it literally over a month ago now. And we did that because of the all of the bad sentiment in DeFi. This year's been an awful year so far for DeFi, with so many projects rug pulling and disappearing, and even the biggest too big to fail DAOs that have come crumbling and crashing down and giving DeFi a bad name. So we thought, you know what, we're very different, and let's prove we are. Let's bring forward the construction of the metaverse. So we started it much earlier. It shouldn't be ready until well into 2023. But now we've already started it. I think we've already released the first teaser. I think if you give us another 6 months, we're going to have something usable, something you can touch and feel, and that's really when it's going to start taking shape, and we'll be able to give something that people can see. Wow, okay, this is what it is.
Awesome. So as a recap, I asked how many businesses you kind of listed about 10 to 15. So that's great. And 3 are already contracted, signed out, and you've got others out there. When I asked about attractiveness, you said the opportunity to get in early into projects, which is, I agree. And then the third is you said the timeline, 6 months till we see something usable, and that's give or take because of the nature of tech. So I totally understand that, which is a very aggressive timeline. Fantastic. I love seeing the metaverses come up and have a good plan for the future here. Let's talk about this NFT marketplace. This is something you just recently released. Tell me a little bit more about it, especially with the helping celebrities design their NFTs. I'm really interested in hearing about that.
Yeah. Okay, well, our NFT marketplace, it's called Meta Markets. It was all finished on the 25th of March, and it went live. And just today, we've just now uploaded our first 3 series of NFTs. And like I said, our NFT marketplace is a little bit different. It's not just your typical, go and take a picture of your hat and make it into an NFT and try and sell it. It's more exclusive. So all of our NFTs are so far, and a theme we'd like to continue into the future is that our NFTs are pegged to real world rewards, perks, and value. So to give you an example, the first 3 series of NFTs that we've launched just today. One of them is with BYD, which is one of the largest electric vehicle manufacturers in Asia. It's a Chinese company. Their distributor in Singapore is called Singapore Electric Vehicles. So anyone who buys one of these BYD NFTs will also receive actual shares in Singapore Electric Vehicles, the actual company. Not digital shares, not tokens, not coins, actual physical shares of the company, and it's a very fast-growing company. Say this similar with e-Powers, which is the one that you're looking at on screen now. These are racing bikes with electric motors. They've got a very infamous history. The motors on these bikes, as they were used in the Tour de France races as early as 2015, when nobody knew that electric motors this small could be fitted to these bikes. But since that, there is now a huge growing following of electric bikes as a standalone sport. And the owners of these NFTs, again, will get real world shares in ePowers, the company, again, which is a very fast growing company. So we kind of have a little niche here, which was accidental, to be honest, with electric vehicles, electric bikes, and electric cars. We've got some very good partners, and quite accidentally, we've launched into some quite niche, fast-growing markets. Again, our ambassador Tom Zanetti, the DJ. There are real-world perks pegged with his NFTs as well. So you can go and have dinner at one of Tom's restaurants. You'll be invited to his house parties. You'll have first access to his new music releases, as well as virtual perks as well. So, you'll have exclusive access to his club in our metaverse, which is called Impeccable Club. So all of these things, what we're trying to do is add more value than just your standard useless NFT that's a nice pixelated face of some character. Our NFTs, and something we'd like to continue into the future, is something a little bit different, pegged to as many perks, rewards, and value as possible, both virtual and real world. So that's a niche that we're creating.
Good deal. So I have a few questions. The shares is really interesting to me. So is there a correlation to the cost of the NFTs to how many shares I get in regards to these companies?
Yeah, well, if you look at ePowers, for example, if you were to buy one of the base model NFTs, you'd be getting like 0.001% of the company. If you were to buy one of the top level NFTs, you'd be getting about 0.02% of the company. And the other thing as well, I forgot to mention, sorry, with the ePowers bikes, which again is unheard of, with the gold NFT and the platinum NFT, you will actually receive one of the new model bikes in the post, in the door, to your house. And these are not cheap bikes. These are very expensive, proper racing spec, built to the highest standard kind of bikes.
Hold
So
on. So
again,
if I
real
buy
world.
that NFT, they'll
Yeah,
ship the NFT or they'll ship the bike to my door.
they'll ship the bike to your door. Yes.
What what which NFT is that again?
Yeah, these are the e-powers bikes. So if you look at the gold or the platinum level, the gold level, you will receive a non-motorized bike similar to the one you're looking at there. And with the platinum NFT, you'll receive the actual race bike with the motor inside. And these are very high quality bikes. The competition ones are as light as 8 kilograms. The standard ones are 10 kilograms. They're built to the very highest specifications with the best quality parts and material in the market. So these are market leading race bikes.
So how do you know that I'm assuming if I buy this, it takes my address or something like that?
Yeah, once you buy it, it goes through, and then we send you out all the documents and the forms, and you get to choose the color of the bike and the size of the bike that you want, and that is shipped to your address.
So I'm in the market for a bike right now. I was actually just looking for a bike, and for me it's a trouble for a lot of people that crypto's not widely adopted. So you're saying if I buy
Yeah,
this gold bike right here, this NFT,
I,
they
I, I
will ship
can't
me
see
this.
as long as you're on the gold level or the platinum level bike. Yes. Yeah, there you go. You're on
I
the
buy.
gold bike, 3.5. Yeah, that's the one. So with this is the
Wow,
gold bike. So you will receive the non-motorized bike, probably the one you're looking at there, and you get to choose which color.
awesome. And so what happens if I sell that NFT?
Well, the bike's already yours. You're the owner of that bike, so it doesn't go with the
So
NFT. But the thing is with these NFTs as well, we're building there's a new race which is beginning across Europe. It's called Formula E. So if you look at the Grand Prix, the Formula One Grand Prix in every country, before the Grand Prix they do Formula E races, so electric cars. They're now adding an electric bike race to that called Formula E. Next year there'll be one in Monaco, and then following the Grand Prix around as well. So we're actually building a play to earn game um, based on the Formula E racing. So all of these NFTs that you buy, all of these NFT owners will have extra perks in those games because they'll actually be able to use their NFTs in the play to earn game.
got it. Yeah, that looks honestly. This looks amazing. So I'm liking this. Is there anything left about the NFT marketplace that we haven't talked about that you'd like to flush out?
No, only with BYD. I think I mentioned it earlier. We're going to be building a BYD in a Singapore electric vehicle showroom in the metaverse to showcase their cars. Singapore electric vehicles is growing very rapidly. They're signing a lot of big contracts at the moment. They're going to be leasing and selling BYD vehicles in Singapore and
If I buy
Asia.
that, Send me a car. I want to buy the NFT. Send me a car.
Yeah, there's no actual physical cars pegged to those NFTs, unfortunately. Just
Yeah,
just shares in the
it's not.
company. Yeah, we can't post those cars.
No, it's gonna be hard, but I am seriously considering those bikes. So, all
Yeah.
right, awesome. Sounds like the NFT marketplace is an exciting new feature, especially when you're already partnered up with legitimate companies, already
Mhm.
doing things around the world. A lot of utility there. Now, talk to me about the treasury and the launchpad here.
Yeah.
What are some of the broad strokes of that? That project.
Yeah, well, Meta Labs is our incubator. So with MetaReserve, we're a community-owned reserve currency protocol, which means all the decisions on the use of our funds have to be a community decision. So all our community who hold Honor is the governance token for MetaReserve. So everybody who owns Power and Honor token has a voice in the community, and they can also our entire community can also propose projects. So people can go into Meta Laboratories. It's now just a tab on the website. Eventually, it will be an actual building or location in the metaverse. But they can go in there and they can upload projects for us as a community to evaluate and see if we want to support them. And when I say support them, we can allocate funds from the treasury. So there's 15% of funds at the moment that are allocated to go towards other projects, and those funds can be used to help projects that we all decide on. To incubate them, support them, give them the technical support that they need. We can use, obviously, we have a whole team of full stack developers, blockchain developers, designers, NFT guys, art guys. So we can help them launch their own tokens. We can give them full access to an engaged community to make every launch a success. So as a community, we all look at all these projects together, and we all take a vote and decide which ones we're going to support. And when we decide on those, of course, we give them all the support that they need. And likewise for our community then has the earliest possible access into those projects and into the launch of their token, which is something that is quite unique, because I know a lot of people in crypto and DeFi go hunting through Telegram groups and Discord groups and trying to find new launches and getting into what used to be ICOs and IDOs and get into things as early as possible, and get on white lists of everything that's going to be launching in the next few months. Well, this is somewhere you can do it all under one roof without the need to go searching around. It's all here. And not only are these projects that you can do all your due diligence in one place, so you can trust it a little bit better, but they're also projects that you yourself decide and have voted on whether to support or not.
Awesome. So yeah, so the launchpad is meant to incubate these newer projects here, and the benefit for the launchpad is that hey, the governance of the community of MetaReserve will then pick on the best ones or the ones that we find our favorite, and then
Yep.
you'll start to use your resources, designers, full stack developers, devs, marketers, all that kind of stuff, and pour your energy into that particular project. And the benefit for the community is that they're able to find some of the best projects early on before it really gets a lot of mass adoption and before the application of your resources. Is that about right for the launchpad?
Yeah, that's basically it. And I think one of the most important things for MetaReserve in all of this is that we're trying to create usability for Power Token. So usually with all of these DAOs that are just here today, gone tomorrow, rug pull, disappear, do whatever else. One of the biggest issues is that uh, the APYs that are offered with these DAOs are crazy big, but they're not sustainable, because people will just take their profits, dump them on the market, take all their money, and happy days. What we're trying to do is to create usability so that it gives people a way to spend and use Power Token on other projects and other investments and build their own portfolio and their own office inside our metaverse. And once we can achieve that and provide utility and usability to our coin, then we have a much more solid, long-term, sustainable business plan. Of course, people will take some of their profits and will cash out on the market, and we always expect that, and we always encourage that. But now you'll have people thinking, hold on, I'll cash out 20%. I'm going to keep the rest to invest into the next project or this project or that project, or go and use in this game or that game. So that's the most important thing for MetaReserve as a company and for our future, is to provide that utility and a way for people to actually spend Power Token rather than just cashing it out.
Got it. So you mentioned something about the sustainability and the avoidance of dumps. Okay, here we go. Gloves are going to come off here. I'm asking you about the APY. In December 2029, we had a video by FoMotion. He made a video about your APY being 30 million% APY,
Ours?
which was, who was that?
Our APY?
Yes. This is on FoMotion. This is on, I believe, at 7:53 marked on the video. 30 million% APY, and now it's 300,000 APY. Still large, but can you help me explain to me what happened there and how do you prevent that in the future?
Well, first of all, we've never had an APY of 30 million.
I'm looking at his, let's see, 1659. I got the video played up here. Let me pull this up here.
Let's have a look at this.
No problem.
I mean, I've seen APYs that are that crazy. Our APY has always been set. I say set. It fluctuates, but it's around 200,000% APY. It can go higher or lower depending on the amount of people that are staking at any particular time.
Yeah. So here is here's 3 places, here's 3 places, here's 3 places, and then here's 29, and he mentions it, and this is on FoMotions. I don't know if you can see that FoMotions here, and this is at like 1656. So he's pulling up your dashboard here. I'm not sure if I could enlarge this here. Yeah. So that's a massive APY.
That is a massive APY, but that's that one that was before I joined the company. But even still, he's talking before we even launched here. We only launched at the end of December 2021. So I don't know what was happening with the.
This was launched December 29th. This video.
December 29th. Yeah, we literally just launched around here. So I'm not too sure how the APY got that high, but it certainly came down and reached a sustainable level. 30 million% is definitely not sustainable. But the APY, the APY does fluctuate. So maybe at this point it was because we didn't have any users. As soon as people go in and start to stake, then the APY comes down.
Yeah, the APY now is at a very healthy, happy 229.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the level it should be at.
Got it. And so, what's your plan onto? So that's before you join the company. What's your plan into sustaining these levels? Is it the treasuries, the bonds, the marketing?
Well, it's all controlled by an algorithm, so it depends how many people are staking. If there's a lot of people staking, the APY comes down. If there's not a lot of people staking, the APY goes up. It will not. There's no chance it can go up to as high as 30 million again. But I have seen other DAOs that have been as high as 1 billion APY. They usually tend to last about a week, and then they're gone. But the thing to mention with our staking, that's very important, is that we have linear vesting periods. So when somebody unstakes, they can't just take all of their profits immediately and go and sell it. So we have a linear vesting period. So we give them back their profits over a 3-day period, which is basically to prevent dumping onto the market so that our price can't completely plummet and tank in a matter of minutes. It's the same on the bonding as well. With the bonding, we'll release their tokens back to them over a 3 or a 5-day period in order to stop whale manipulation and to stop or not to stop entirely, but at the very least to try and prevent dumping onto the market.
Yeah. On top of that, you've got the consistent addition of utility like the NFT marketplace, the metaverse, and the treasury, the launch pads. So it's bringing onboarding more people in, incentivizing on the bonds, and then sustaining the treasury. So I totally get that as far as DAOs go. I particularly am a big fan of DAOs.
Yes,
Here's my
some
second
people don't
question.
get that though. Some people don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. We do have some very negative comments about that, but I think people need to realize why that's in place. Without that, we wouldn't be sustainable. Without that, every single day we'd be at risk of being completely dumped on. So we have to have that in place if we want to be sustainable and reach all of our goals and targets.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, like, I wanted to make sure I said that because you need users, you need use case, you need utility, and you need people constantly in the protocol. And that's why the metaverse and the meta market is so important.
Mhm.
You mentioned something earlier about the team. Like, you weren't brought on. That was before you were brought on. Now, in
Yeah.
his same video at 6:01, he shows a different CEO, George,
Yeah.
and now he's an advisor, and now you're the CEO. Can you explain to me like what happened there?
Literally, this only happened literally a couple of days ago. It was last week that George really took the decision to step down, but he's never really been very active with the company. George basically seed funded the company in the early stages, and
Mhm.
and I was friends with one of the developers in Australia. So I kind of kept an eye on this project because I know this developer well, and I know whatever he's involved in, it has to be good. I know how good he is and how sought after he is. He's very well hidden because all of the banks try to headhunt him all of the time. And he
Yeah.
actually asked me to get involved in this back when this was in the planning and development stages, but I was in the middle of launching another company here in Thailand. And then, yeah, recently George, I think, has decided to take a back seat. I know that he's quite an elderly guy, not in the best health, and he's never really been too active or been much of a front man. So I think he just thought in order to give the company the best chance, and while he's able to enjoy his time, I think he'd rather do that. So the team had a little discussion and thought because I just joined the company and because of my background, I'd be the best man to fill his shoes, either temporarily or if I do a good enough job, maybe on a bit more long term basis.
Gotcha. So they decided to, for the betterment of his health and just an inactive CEO, because for whatever reasons, XYZ, he decides to take a step back into the advisory role and you step into the CEO. And that only happened like in the last few days here. So, okay, cool. Good deal. So welcome to the welcome to the team, I guess. Now, last thing is the roadmap. Okay, so when I was looking through that same video, I saw that the roadmap here was some of the stuff like the audit, the front end enhancement, additional bonds offering, and the dashboard enhancement. Those were things that were originally in the January month, pegged for January. Then it moved to February. Now we're in March and even April, pushing back that roadmap. Is there anything else that we could expect to see pushed back, or are these things that we're going to be seeing tackled in Q2? Because I feel like a company that sticks to the roadmap is someone that could be trusted.
Yeah, I agree with you there. A lot of these things are because of the CERTIC audit. So because we're going through a CERTIC audit, it's taken a lot longer than we'd expected and hoped, and they keep coming back to us with different things which we address each and every time. So that there's no question that the audit will be approved, but it just keeps adding things to change along the way, which we have been doing as we've been required to do so. I think we've jumped through the final hoops now, so I would be expecting all of that to be finalised as soon as we get that final CertiK approval, which is on the cards. But no, in terms of roadmap, in terms of our technology rollout, for example, we said we'd have MetaMarket live by March 15th to 25th. We did that. We said we'd have Meta Laboratories live and active in Q1. We did that. So now onwards with the rest of the roadmap, and I think we're completing a lot of that faster than we planned.
Good deal. Yeah, and additionally, you brought forth the metaverse quicker into the roadmap. So yeah, I appreciate that, and especially when you go to CertiK, you're based on their or their time frame and not anyone else's, pretty much. So we totally get that. The meta market is already live. It says planned here, but it's already live. So good deal. Yeah, I'm looking forward to some more of the developments. Is there anything left that we haven't talked about in regards to MetaReserve that it's just a fire in your belly that you need to get out here?
Well, no, I think we've covered most of our features and what we're all about, really. But no, I think, to be honest, one of the things in DeFi in general that I've been finding quite, I think, difficult's the wrong word to use, but it's the way that people seem to go to from one DAO to another DAO to another DAO to the next DAO. One will collapse and they'll all jump on board with another one. Then that one will collapse and they'll all jump on board with another one. I think that's really what we're trying to tackle here. We're trying to demonstrate that with a front-facing, fully doxed team, with a long-term strategy, and with all of the correct motives and the correct people in place, there can be a successful DAO that has longevity and that can survive and that can provide these kind of APYs sustainably on a long-term basis. So I think that really is the most important thing for me, just because I've seen DeFi taking such a heavy hit over the past few months, and it's really damaged the name and the reputation. And it kind of does feel like back in 2015 and 16, when I was trying to explain to people that Bitcoin wasn't just the currency of drug dealers and gun runners. And it kind of feels like that all over again. So I'm hoping that with our project and with other projects similar to ours, that have the technology and the fundamentals correct, that there can be some successful projects that stand out and change the image of DeFi in general.
Awesome. Yeah, there are three major, as a recap, guys, there's three major things, but be sure to check out the MetaReserve down in the links description down below. You've got the metaverse coming out within given 6 months or 7 or so months, partnered with already signed contracts and partner deals. 2, the meta marketplace, with already NFTs that have real world utility as far as stocks and bicycles. So I'm really interested in that. And 3rd, a launchpad backed by a treasury, backed by a lot of already support with things already in place. Oliver, thank you so much for being part of this hot seat. I know it was good. I think we covered a lot of stuff. Is there any last thing that you could talk to about a cowboy interested in buying power, getting involved in MetaReserve? What's the last thing that you could say to someone who might be on the fence?
Well, I'd say join our Discord channels, join our Telegram channels, and whatever DAO you're thinking about investing in, just look into it very, very carefully. Look under the bonnet. Look at people involved. It's the wild, wild west out here.
It is. Guys, Lizard Brains, just get into good, clean projects, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.